What's good, my brother? Welcome back.
It was good. It was good. Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back.
Yeah, man, you was out of town for a couple of days, man. What that show was you was on called?
Oh yeah, I was on Pop the Balloon, man. Trying to find some love, man. Getting old.
That
And I
was
found me a wifey.
that
Found some
was
jits out here.
that was definitely hilarious. I ain't gonna leave it lie.
Trying to drop me some Supreme Fit jits, man. Need some jits running around here doing the Supreme Fit workouts, man.
But I'm glad you even brought up the JIT topic. So, you know how I be going on my little soapbox. I be reading, and then we had some clients come in here and ask me about their son lifting weights, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that made me go into this topic that used to be big when I was in Little League, right?
Mm-hmm.
That people used to debate, should you lift weights when you're playing Little League football? We've heard all coaches and parents say that it stunts your growth. They should stick to just playing ball, no gym time. But I don't think it's any truth to that. Now, I could say when I was growing up, my dad had me doing a lot of push-ups, pull-ups, body weight workouts, which I would say helped me far as, not getting hurt, building my stature and things like that. But what's your opinion on that? That now that we getting a lot of student athletes that's coming here to want to work out?
I do feel like prior to high school, athletes or younger kids should not be lifting weights, just for the mere fact that their body is growing at a rapid rate, man. You don't want to. Now I don't know scientifically do it stunt your growth, but I do know you can cause injury because your body growing at a rapid rate, and you kids' body growing, you need to learn your body. So I do feel like, as far as calisthenics, plyometrics, fundamental movements, yes, kids need to be doing that. Understand the body, focus on stature, focus on posture, focus on honing their body strength.
Right.
Stuff like that. I think you need to build the foundation before you start lifting weights. Like, what's the point of lifting weights at 6 and 7? And because in about a year, if you start at 6, right, and 2 years at 8, your whole body doesn't change. You get hit growth spurt, you be 3 inches taller than you was from 6 to 8. Then you guess what? You got to learn it all over again. And then again with that, like I say, it kind of do make sense how it could stunt your growth, because, like for instance, my niece, when she was going from middle school to high school, she was hitting this growth spurt, and her knees used to bother her a lot.
Right.
And because she was growing, getting taller, her body is stretching out, and ligaments is changing, body is changing, and if you in that phase of growing and you talking about going into the gym and doing weightlifting and putting this resistance on your body, working against your body while your body's trying to grow, that's nothing but a hindrance to the body. And I don't feel like you can grow and be optimal at a young age.
So according to the Academy of Pediatrics, it says strength training is safe for kids 7+ with supervision.
Now, it's a big difference from strength training, weightlifting, powerlifting, and body. That's all different things. Strength training, you can get strength training from push-ups, that's plyometrics and calisthenics. Body weight workouts, you can get all those. You can strengthen your body without lifting weights. I'm talking about weightlifting.
So this says 7, 8, benefits of lifting for Little League athletes: reduces risk of injury, improve bone density and joint strength, builds core strength and balance, boosts confidence and discipline early on.
Is that weightlifting or strength training?
That's lifting. It just says lifting.
We're lifting what? Because no matter what age, you're gonna be lifting something. You lift your helmet to put on your head. You lift your water bottle.
It's talking to the topic of lifting weights.
Yeah, I mean, okay. So if you want a kid to lift weights, I would say something more on the side of like Pilates, very light weights, so it won't be straining on your body,
right,
and too much resistance.
I agree with that lightweight part.
Yeah, lightweight. You don't need a kid to come here and get on a squat rack. Right. Like I said, if you want a kid to lift weights at that age, get them on some functional movements, light dumbbells, 3 to 5 pounds walking lunges, light dumbbells.
Right, I agree with that.
Like I say,
the lighter the weight, the better, my opinion. But is zero evidence that shows that it stunts your growth. And I know that was the big topic that people say that, oh, you lifting weights early is going to stunt your growth. They said
I don't know scientifically.
the research shows that when kids lift under proper supervision, there's zero evidence that messes with growth.
I mean, yeah, like you said, under proper supervision. So when you under proper supervision, it all goes on a structured plan. So it's like when you first started lifting weights, you didn't jump in the squat rack, right? You had to
No.
work from body weight squats
Yeah.
to dumbbell squats to barbell squats.
Well, my daddy wasn't big on me lifting
I'm just
weights.
saying, when you got into a program,
Yeah.
you started lifting in high school. You didn't, it's phases to it. So like
Yeah.
I say, what
For
like
sure.
they just said, or the plan. Yeah, so they get these kids. They're not going to start off lifting weights. They're going to start off body weight, then get to light weights, then get from light weights to moderate weights, then they get into the powerlifting, where they actually lift and they grow muscle size and change their body for their sport. So it all makes sense. Like I say, it's all case by case. It's
Yeah.
all case by case. So you can't. They can say that it's not scientific, but how.
So I went and did other further research because, like I told you, my dad only had me lifting body weights. So I compared body weight to lifting weights. Now, body weight is great, but you don't have to stop there. Dumbbells, resistance bands, medicine balls, they're all tools kids can use safely.
Calisthenics and functional workouts.
It's about teaching them core balance and proper form, not just piling on heavy weight.
Exactly. And the reason you start at the level you start the same with me. I didn't start lifting weights till like 10th grade.
Yeah,
but
me too.
But when I did start lifting weights, I had the core strength, I had the fundamentals, I had the balance, I had all these things to help me further along.
Right.
You feel me?
But I do know that I got to look more deep into this, but I do know that when the overweight children used to play football, they used to have them with trash bags on and all of that, and they say that stunts your growth. But
that's strain on the body.
I'm not sure. Like I say, a lot of stuff I like to just look at the evidence behind it. But I'm not sure, but I could see how that's putting strain on a 12-year-old body that he 150 and y'all trying to get him down to 120 pounds.
Yeah, I did that same thing. When I first started playing Artemis ball, I was going to school garbage because I wanted to play 125s.
Yeah.
But I was too big. But I didn't want to play because we had 125 and then unlimited. I was too small for unlimited. I was too big for 125. They had nothing else in between. So here I ain't going to cut weight trying to play 125. So like I say, bro, like these kids are evolving and growing, bro. Like you got to let the body grow.
And then, too, I ain't gonna lie, I don't know what's in their food nowadays, but
there's a lot of additives in foods.
These kids be looking like grown people. I be like, they look older than me.
There's a lot more stuff in these foods. There's a lot more stuff in the foods.
This stuff, it'd be crazy.
It's not much organics. There's a lot more stuff that's enhancing these kids to grow faster and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I mean, when I have kids, my kids is gonna be focused on internally to externally. They're gonna be like some Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Like, you could look as big as you want, but that don't mean you're gonna be strong as an ox.
Right.
Like I tell my kids all the time that I train in high school. Like, do you want to be strong for a short period of time, or you want to be strong over a long period of time? You want to focus on sustainability.
Correct, and I agree with that.
Strength endurance. I train for strength endurance. I take on the approach of Bruce Lee and David Goggins. I don't train my kids that way. I don't train myself that way. We're never going to train at 100%. We're always going to train at under 50%.
So how you feel about them doing like sled pushes and all of that stuff? So now, I used to push the tire. We used to push the tire, how we do the plate push. We used to have to push a tire 40 yards, then push it back. But pulling a sled and pushing a sled.
It's the same thing as pushing a tire. It's no difference.
Yeah, but it's more weight.
You can pit more weight. You can adjust the weight, but that's all fundamental movement. That's functional movements. You feel me? That's functional movements. So yes, that's fine. That's like pushing a cart in the grocery store with your mom when she got a full on her monthly shopping. It's 200 pounds right there. You pushing the cart. That's just natural stuff you do in everyday life. So that's cool. These are functional movements. These are calisthenics, plyometrics, things you're gonna do in a daily movement. You want to learn how to harness your body first.
Now I do think that a lot of these football camps and Well, they still playing football in right now.
Yeah.
Like your body, they body never getting a chance to rest.
Never rest.
Even if they have an injury. Like when do they heal now?
They don't.
Like they continue from
They're-
contact football. They play like 5 different all-star games. Then they go into flag football.
Then back to spring.
And then back to spring football.
They're not resting. First of all, they're not proper. They're not even replenishing. So they're lack of eating, lack of dehydration, and then their lack of rest.
Right.
They're setting themselves up for failure. Setting themselves up for failure.
Because I think that a lot of these shorties, like, they have, like, just say you hurt your hip. That hip, you know how long it took for my hip to heal?
Bro, like I told a parent, I said, look, just the totality of a football season, 12 games, is enough for you to rest 3 to 4 months. Just the totality of a full football game is enough for you to rest.
Right.
It's one game with just contact in football. And you talking about you feel like a kid play football year round? That's crazy.
That year-round football to me is like
Pointless.
I don't see the point in it. I think it lessens the athlete too, because we used to play 3 different sports: baseball, track,
And guess what?
basketball.
And guess what? Playing all these different sports did what? It diversified your athleticism.
Correct.
It diversified. So the hand-eye coordination you need for football is different from hand-eye coordination for baseball and basketball. You feel me? The type of footwork you need for that is different for this. The type of condition you need for that sport is different for this.
Right.
You feel me? So now when you combine when you go do all these different sports and diversify your athletic portfolio, now you can become the ultimate athlete.
So you said push-ups, right?
Right.
You don't think a kid could get hurt from doing a lot of push-ups?
No, I mean, honestly, no. Like, I mean, of course you're going to listen to your body. And it's not the push-ups that's going to hurt you. It's the totality of the exercise you do throughout that day or that week. So if I'm super sore, if I usually do 200 push-ups a day, right? But my totality of the day of working out, I did track practice, did football practice, then went to the gym. And if my body beat down, in reality, can I still do 200 effective push-ups without injuring myself? No. So what I'm going to do is tone down my volume of push-ups and maybe do 50 for that night. 'Cause remember, I just did all this X amount of stuff. So if I still did 200, it won't be even effective anyways.
Right.
I'm not, you feel me? So no.
And then too, a lot of, how can I say this? They not eating enough food.
They're not replenishing.
Yeah.
So like I had a kid train, you know, you get in here, you showing mental toughness, you know, great. But you're not getting an effective workout. Because why? You working off adrenaline. Your body not feeding off anything. You have no source to feed off of.
Right.
And then when you finish doing that, you're not replenishing again and not feeding the body again. So now when you're resting, you're going to sleep at a dehydrated state. You're going to sleep at a malnourished state. And we wake up, you at a worse state. So you're never going to, it's just like.
So how you feel about a kid taking supplements then to help replace that? Keratin to help grow their muscles.
Nah, man, like I say, that's it's in the word. It's a supplement. Yeah, you take it, it's gonna supplement your downfall where you at now and pitch you where you need to be. And guess what? You can't take that stuff forever.
Yeah.
So why take it now if you can't take it forever? You can't live off that forever. So just do the real work and get the real results. Don't rely on these supplements. There's supplements for a reason. People run from the real work. Nah, man. Put the real work in. Go home and be disciplined to eat. Go home and be disciplined to drink. You know, go home and be disciplined to sleep.
Because I ain't gonna lie, a lot of people, instead of doing the things that you're saying, which would help your body recover, a lot of people just rather quick fix. Like,
shortcuts. There's no shortcuts.
I'm going to take this because it give you that aesthetical look that, dang, boy, that shit big, boy.
Yeah, you look big.
Yeah.
You look big. How many just we know that look big that train in this gym? And we like, well, you look big. Why you in here dying?
Weak. No muscle endurance.
Weak mental. Weak insides.
Yeah.
You got, I call it the SpongeBob effect. I don't know if you ever watched SpongeBob. That boy got the blow up arms. He look big. He look strong. But he's really weak. Teletubby.
Yep.
Teletubby body.
I think it's important though for me that not only do it the proper way though, but focus on the goal that's at hand. Like, let's just say when I was playing baseball, I barely worked out when I was playing baseball because it's not that contact sport.
Mm-hmm.
But when I played football, my daddy had me doing more abs, doing more pull-ups,
Yeah, because you
and
had to callous the
doing
body.
air
You
squats.
got to callous the body. You got to you got to harden the body for those type of things.
Yeah.
You got to harden the body. So, the more you do it, the more you harden it. The less you do it, the softer it is. The softer
So
your skin
do you
is.
think it's a myth that if you work out, you prevent injuries?
You can't prevent no injury. What you can do is strengthen your body up to like I won't say it. No, it's not prevent. It's just like to be able to deal with it. Like I say. So for instance, right now, with me lifting weights, the way I do, the way I run right now, right? I'm training right now. The way I run,
Right.
if I don't work out to strengthen my hamstrings, work out to strengthen my hips, and I try to go out and run the volume of running I'm doing, I'm gonna hurt myself. Hamstring gonna pull because it's not strengthened. Same thing in football. So if you don't strengthen your upper body and do your push-ups and do your bench press, whatever you do for workout, you go out there and get tackled too many times, your collarbone gonna break.
Yeah.
It's just simple.
So
You ain't preventing it. You just getting your body more prepared for the contact.
So since it's all
Being
about
endure.
technique and form and all of that stuff, would you let a 10-year-old lift 225?
I'm not letting a 10-year-old lift anything. A 10-year-old? No.
Yeah.
No. He's not even
Squat 225.
For what? He's not even developed. His skeletal frame and body is not even developed to even be doing anything like that.
But he been working out.
That's
He
fine.
been in the
That's
gym.
fine. Do 1,000 squats then. Do 1,000 air squats.
That's
The
crazy.
same effect.
1,000 air squats.
What's the difference?
No, because you're testing his strength. He's seeing where he at.
You see where he at. If you that strong, you do 1,000.
1,000 is
If
crazy.
you can do a 225 at 10, you can do 1,000 air squats at 10.
No.
Listen, when it comes to lifting weights, right? I don't feel like. I mean, yeah, the heavier the weight, you can say I'm stronger, but I feel like this in the gym. If I go to the gym every day and I attempt to pick up 225, and I end up doing it, I don't really feel like I got stronger. I just got immune to the weight. I know what 225 feel like now.
Okay. I can see that.
You feel me? That's why I say I train at 50% or lower. What I do, I go outside before I work out. I go and run 2 or 3 miles. I kill my body. Now, if I come in the gym and lift 225 while I'm completely tired, that's how you know you're strong.
So you don't think that the weight makes them more bulkier, especially if they
Yeah, the
on
more
the
resistance.
line?
Yeah, the more resistance. Yeah, of course. The more resistance,
Right.
the more your muscle expands. Yeah, of course.
So you don't think that'd be good for like a D lineman? Because some of these shorties big as hell.
Yes, but not at no 10 years old. You don't need it at 10. At 10, we
With as many games as these shorties playing.
and that goes back. So I'm gonna just say this: parents need to dial back, tone it down, stop living through your kids.
You said
Your kids-
living through your
yeah,
kids?
you
Explain that. What you mean by
What you
that?
mean? You got parents that played the sport, either it was really good and didn't make it, or aspired to be good and didn't make it. Now they got these kids, they're living through their kids. They're making their kids play these sports to extreme levels and not letting the kids be kids.
Okay.
Football and sports would be fun.
Yeah, I often say it used to be fun.
Is it
when I used to
extracurricular?
play.
Is it fun for kids? We go to 7-on-7s. Do you realize these kids really be having fun? Some of them.
Some of them. I just don't agree with. I ain't gonna lie, I've been getting in a lot of fights. Somebody trying to hit you with the belt. They doing the little throwing up the stick signs and all of
Got
that.
no guidance. Parents not being parents, man.
Yeah, it would have been a fight. They would have tried
It's
me like
the
that.
parents not being parents.
I ain't gonna
Tone it
even lie.
down. Be a parent to your child, and teach them the right.
So
way.
how many reps you say a kid should be doing if they 10 years old? Not 1,000. That's ridiculous.
No, I was just giving that metaphor. If you want him to lift 225 at 10,
Oh,
that's
okay.
crazy too. So both is crazy. Neither one should be happening. You feel me? I just said it'd
Right.
be better to do 1,000 reps than lifting 225 and hurting the kid.
Right.
The chance of you hurting yourself at doing 1,000 air squats, it'd be a muscle strain. Then paying 225 on the 10-year-old back, he'll break his goddamn back.
Yeah.
So, rep range, since it's gonna be mostly air squats And body weight movement, you can do anything from 25 reps to higher. And it depends on it all depends on the kid.
Okay.
It depends on their fitness level. So you start off at 15, work to 25. As they get stronger, as they get stronger, their portfolio expands. You can gradually build it up, and that goes back to the plan. It goes back to a structured plan. You got to build these kids up.
So how would you motivate a kid if they not motivated to come into the gym? Because like you say, some of these parents is living through their kids and they forcing them to do certain things.
When it comes to motivation, man, first and foremost, you can't not motivate anyone to do anything. They have to have motivation already for whatever they're trying to do. The only thing you can do is uplift them from the point they're at. So if a kid is not motivated to come to the gym, I'm not going to let them come to the gym.
Okay, but what if their parents come drop that check on you?
Right, so
They coming. They ain't got no choice.
well, I'm going to sit down and talk to the kid. I'm going to try to find out. I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to try to dive deep and understand. Let them know, hey, look, your mom said you got to be here. So let's figure out a way. See what you like. What do you like? I'm trying to figure out. You gotta find
Roblox. He want to sit at home, eat cakes.
These
little fat jits.
We gonna talk about that. I'm gonna give him the pros and cons. Tell him why this is bad. And I'm gonna try to find that connection.
What he could come in the gym and work out every day. What if he go home eating donuts, cakes, all of the stuff it don't even make sense for him to come work out.
Now we gotta sit down and talk. You know, I gotta understand the mindset.
Right.
I gotta understand what's going on through the person's mind. Same thing I do with all my clients here. I have conversations with them. I see where they at, where they lacking mentally, where they lacking physically. See where they at today mentally, stuff like that. So, yeah, man, you got to sit down and talk to them, and you got to figure out that point of connection to where it can make sense for them. Because if you can't find a connection to where they at and where you trying to get them, it's gonna be hard to connect that bridge.
So, give me one crazy story that you've seen between the parent and the kid. It don't matter what sport it is. It could be football, baseball, basketball.
A crazy story?
A crazy story that you done seen the kid. Where either they pushing them too hard or you could see, like, I'm going to just tell you one, right? I was at a football game and the dude's son was the quarterback, right? Mm-hmm. He was upset that his son didn't score a touchdown, that he wanted to fight the coaches, right? Mm-hmm. So the coaches end up doing, okay, yeah, we're going to let him run the ball in. The shorty ended up getting hurt. Mm-hmm. From running the ball. He did a quarterback bootleg.
Then he blamed the coach.
Yeah, he was mad at the coach.
Man, you just
and the game was really over.
And you just about to fight because he ain't scored a touchdown. I do what you want me to do.
But he's the quarterback, so he done threw touchdown. He done handed the ball off. Yeah. So that made me, when you say live through their kids, that kind of made me think, like, is he trying to live through his son? Like, what was the point of him scoring a touchdown in this game? Like, it don't matter. Yeah. He's the quarterback. In Optimist, they run the ball more than anything.
It's crazy that coach even did that. Like, at that, I'm like, first of all, I don't even talk to parents like that. Like, I'm in season, like off season, you can tell me whatever you need to tell me, but I'm the coach. I'm the daddy now.
Right.
So you talk to them at home when they in my practice and my game.
But what if they step to you on the sideline, or like you say, you don't talk to parents? And that's how I grew up. Well, our coaches used to say, if your mama or daddy come out here on this field, you might as well leave with them because you off the team.
So if a parent would have came to me and you try to step to me like that, I'd have just, hey, you can take your son now. You know, I'm not from the intervene in that, but yeah, I'm not having no parent dictate the integrity of my program.
Right.
If you feel like your son ain't thriving here, just take him to another program.
Right.
It's that simple. You know, program's a program. Ain't no player bigger than the program. You know.
But nowadays we got, and I ain't gonna lie, I hate seeing this now. They got transfer portal for Optimist.
That's fine. Yeah, I see all that. That's fine.
They got
teaching the kids the wrong thing.
All the flyers, kids getting mic'd up.
Teaching them the wrong thing. They're above that.
They're
above their authority. They're above the authority now. So he's teaching the kids that they're above authority. So you teach them this now. When they get older, they're gonna think they above authority again. And they're gonna be going to jail at a higher rate now because they won't respect authority.
I agree with that.
So they're teaching these kids the wrong thing already at 5 and 6 years old. Transferring because they don't like the coach. Transferring because the play ain't going your way. Transferring. How you go to transfer by the park? What the hell? You ain't even bruh. Don't get me started. That's why I don't even deal with none of that stuff, man.
So you'd rather coach high school than Optimist?
I'm never. Only way I'm ever going to coach Optimist is if I have a son.
So you gonna be one of those parents then?
No, listen. I'm just gonna be. I won't. I'm not gonna be. I wouldn't want to be a head coach or anything like that. I just want to be there to motivate my son.
Right.
I didn't want to be that motivation that dad. My dad cares. He's there. He there every practice. He's there every game. I said I could just be on the staff. I don't even have to be a coach. I just want to be on the staff and be there my son, be a part of his journey.
Right.
If you need to talk to dad, he can talk to me. I don't got to be no coach today. I just want to be a part of it. I could be a fucking team dad. Whatever I got to do, I just want to be around it.
Right.
You feel me? So that's what I'm saying. Far me coaching, I'm not coaching no Optimus Jits. Like, you feel me? You already know it took me a while to even coach. I only coach because our nephew, Chaz, you feel me?
Yeah.
So nah, I'm good.
I would say though, to wrap up this conversation, some takeaways that I found out is that it doesn't hurt for kids to lift weights, as long as you're doing it proper.
Yeah, proper.
You got a proper
technique.
trainer.
Yeah.
Somebody that's know what they doing.
Mm-hmm. Build a plan out around them, gradually build.
Right. Parents and coaches listening, invest in proper training.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main thing I want people to take away.
And communication. You got to have communication with your with your client, the kids you train. You got to have communication. You got to constantly, because like these kids, like I say, a lot of kids gonna try to fight through adversity. They're try to push their body to the limit. You got to communicate and know what they're feeling and know what they're going through. Because like I say, if you ain't gonna get it out of them, they're not gonna never tell you, and then you're gonna end up hurting the kid.
Right.
A lot of kids will tell you, I'm all right, I'm feeling good. If you ain't paying attention, you gotta pay attention. Oh, he timid today on the walk. Oh, he favoring that late today. No, you gotta pay attention to these things. Kids are pushed through. They're kids. They don't know. They're waiting.
But some parents gonna make them push through. And I'm telling you, I done went to some of these Optimus games.
Guess what?
And they screaming, "You ain't hurt."
That's cool. Let the that's on the parents and what them doing outside of you. You being a coach and a trainer, he ain't gonna happen on my watch. Whatever the mom and daddy do when they leave my watch, I can't do nothing about that. I'm not the dad.
Right. But then,
on my watch,
these paws down here, you gonna mess around and get in the fight.
That's fine. I'll walk away. Now you hit me, I gotta defend myself. But I said I'm not. I'm here to serve the kids. I'm not here for none of that stuff. It is what it is, man. You gotta,
But yeah, man, you got anything else that you wanna inform the people on? What you got coming up next? What's going on?
I coach football. We got spring football coming up. We going to Ebony Fit weekend.
Yeah.
Network and try to grow our business more, get some more expertise, and we always learn.
Y'all see us at Ebony Fit. Buy some gloves, buy some merch.
Yeah, we got the merch. We got new shirts coming out. We still got the Supreme Fit gloves.
Yeah.
We got some talks gonna be coming out soon. We still offer our group training Monday.
We got online training now, so if you can't make it to the gym, just hit us up. We can connect you with the online training, all structured workouts.
Yeah.
Got examples of how to do the workouts, all of that. Make sure, and if y'all not following us on Instagram or YouTube, make sure y'all follow us.
Supreme Fit family. One more thing, like I say, it's all season right now. Any youth that need to train, high school, middle school, looking to train, looking to, get in shape, get stronger, bigger, faster, hit us up, man. We got that available for you too. You training, man. We do monthly packages, we do walk-ins, drop-ins, all that, man. So we can go in the gym, we go in the field, whatever you need. We both play collegiate football. We both play to the highest level. So you want to learn from the best to be the best. Iron sharpen iron.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, stay fit, stay focused. Supreme Fit, man. We out.
Yes, sir.